Welcome to Geek Shuffle and welcome to Comic Corner of September, where we're looking back at what I bought in August. It is once again a somewhat substantial pile, but it could have been a lot worse. For the first time, I lost a shipment completely. It somehow got stuck in the English channel. My first auction from a UK buyer, and it got stuck in the English channel somehow. It might show up at some point. I have already gotten a full refund from the seller. No issues with the seller at all, but I lost 30 to 40 comics, which is a shame, of course, for both the seller and me. The seller is fine. It was through Whatnot, so Whatnot refunded both me and the seller for the transaction. But yeah, 30 to 40 comics are stuck in limbo. It might be a Brexit thing. I don't know. We don't talk about it. So we just move on, and we have more than enough comics to go around. And let's just jump into it. We're going to talk about the one in the back, and people who know comics know that comic. So let's jump into the regular releases. There are not many regular releases for now. There are a couple, and they are a bit spread out because how I have split them up. We have Rogue and Gambit, number 5, and that is the last in this series. They will show up a bit later because I have bought some variants. I like Rogue, as you know. She is here as well. You can just see her on the edge. Because I grew up with Rogue in X-Men. So this will show up again later. But number 5 in the series. So it is complete for now. Then we have a new series. We have Poison Ivy Uncovered, and I'm not sure if this is a mini series or not. But I will keep an eye out on it. The reason I bought it, again, I am an art collector. This is Guillaume March, a new artist. I am keeping an eye out on. Very specific art style. Yeah, Poison Ivy Uncovered, new series, number 1. So we pick it up and add it to the collection. Then we have X-Men 92, House of XCII, another one, variant edition. If you watch, I'm just going to refocus just to be completely sure. DNA. DNA is David Nakayama, an artist I have been collecting a bit of, and you will see more in this stack. Some of his art reminds me a bit of Artgerm, and some is a bit different. He has the pin-up art style, which I like, and this is a new series. So we jump in, and again, I like X-Men. I like Rogue is featured again, so we like it. We pick it up. We go back. This is the first part of the new stuff, so we go back a bit. An auction pickup, Ultimates number 1. I started. Ultimates was one of the things I picked up when it showed up first. We have Mark Millar writing a new version of the Avengers, which has influenced some of the Avengers, not much, but some of the newer runs. A different take on the Avengers, a bit more gritty, modern Avengers. And it's a number 1. It isn't that expensive. It didn't become that popular, but it was a run I read, so I wanted to pick up another 1 issue of the Ultimates. And talking about Rogue, we have a Rogue number 1. Again, not that expensive, but it's sentimental pickup. Rogue number 1, it is foil-ish, gold foil embossed, So I really like this cover of her first solo run, and I like it. It would look good on a shelf, I think. So, sentimental pickup, book number one. And then we have JSA Classified, starring Power Girl. We have Amanda Connor. This is the Amanda Connor variant. I do believe this is the second print. The first print is again pretty expensive, and this was a bit above sticker price. I can't remember how much I paid for it. Again, running auctions. But Amanda Connor, from which has done a lot of Harlequin, and she has done some Power Girl. So we picked up. That's fine. I don't know why I bought this. It was a number one, Mary Jane Black Cat. I like Black Cat. Mary Jane, it's fine. She's in Spider-Man. I am not the biggest Spider-Man fan. I like the movies. Some of the movies are good. Some of them are not that good. I really like the animated movies too, of course, and like the Tom Holland stuff and Tobey Maguire stuff. And then you can figure out which are not that great. But I like the cover on this. Fine. I got it cheap, so good. A single pickup, Lee in Yuk. I've talked about him before. And I think this was one of those I have to order at least 10 items for my import tax to make it worth it. Normally it's a number 12 variant cover and it's in Yuk, so that's fine. Fine action cover. I would go for number ones, number twos. It's fine. And we have Batgirl 25, and I really like this cover. This is Middleton, artist, high fidelity cover. I can't remember his first name. Middleton artist. But yeah, a portrait. Very nice design on this. Very cool cover. And I am blanking on this, but we have a Virgin. And again, for those who don't collect comics that much, a Virgin cover is just a full art cover without text, which always are more expensive. You have two variants of covers. Well, you have a lot of variants, of course, but you have Virgin without text, and then you have ratio covers, which are store covers that they only get in ratios if they have to buy 15 of the normal covers or 100 of the normal covers to get a ratio cover that then they can sell on to make extra money. It's a store incentive for the store to buy the comic book, and they are a lot more expensive. And ratio covers normally cost the store normally sell those for the ratio price. So if it's a 1 to 50, the store will sell it for $50. If it's a 1 to 100, the store normally will sell them for $100. It's a way for the store to make money if they don't make a lot of money on the normal variant. It's for the publisher to help the stores out, the smaller stores, even the larger stores, of course. I will add text to this because I can't remember. I believe it's a Spider-Man. It's Black Cat. So it's an Amazing Spider-Man something volume 3 something. But I got it cheap, and it's a full art. We like full art. And again, this is an Alex Ross. I like Alex Ross. Not all of these are great. We got a Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is great. And he did a series of these where he did villain covers of full art villain covers. And I can't remember which comic book is behind this. And they are not that expensive. So if you like full art, these are pretty easy to get. And I'm probably not going to collect all of them, but some of them I might. And back to another full art, Jean Grey. And again, I'm going to add the text to what comic book this is because I can't remember. This is David Nakayama again, which we had earlier, full arts. These are a bit more expensive. I can't remember what I paid, 10 to 15, maybe $20. Full arts. Very, very cool art though. And talking about full art, I don't think I could push it back any further. Some full arts are very, very expensive. This is Artgerm, and it is one of his more pricey pieces. Some of them can become very, very expensive if you grade them, if you send them into CGC, the grading place, CCG maybe. The other one is the signature place. We don't talk about that. They can become very expensive. And if they start out expensive and then get graded, they become humongously expensive. This retail price on this is $60, and the market price on it is $150. And then if it gets graded, we are talking $1,000. It's very, very expensive. It has become very, very popular. There are variants of this. It's expensive. I won it from an auction from Artgerm Collectibles. So I got it at 70, just above market price, retail price. And then I had to pay import tax, blah, blah, blah. So it is close to $100 for me. And market price is still 150. So I could sell it again and make money on it. I'm not gonna, because I collect Artgerm. But yeah, it is the second most expensive book in my collection. I still have the Harley Quinn, which is more expensive, but it is very, very pricey. But yeah, we are gonna put back that. Very, very cool. I have no idea why that particular piece. It is a thick book, but Artgerm Collectibles, some of the items are just crazy expensive. We move on to a new release. Harley Quinn #1, Night's Terrors, and these are. I'm not sure if they are intended to be the horror releases for this year because they are a bit early. Because they are just one of two. Each character in DC have a tiny run, a two-volume run each, which are horror releases. And it would have made sense to release them around Halloween, but they're releasing them now. They might run up to something horror related later. I don't think so because I have seen the release list. It doesn't ring a bell. But I have only bought Harley Quinn. I have only pre-ordered Harley Quinn because I collect Harley Quinn. But every character in DC has a Night's Terror 2-piece release. And this is the Jenny Friesen cover. I like this the best, and I think #2 will come in next month's package. And then we have Harley Quinn Black, White, Redder, and this I think she had earlier last year. Maybe she had Black, White, Red. So this is the second release, and I will have to go back and buy the other one at some point. Which is a 5-book series. So this will release up to Christmas, I believe, is the last book, with a lot of cover variants. Again, this is again Gillian March, which was also the Poison Ivy book we saw earlier. Very distinct. Again, a bit like Archer-ish pin-up design. And we have the same Black, White, Redder Harley Quinn from Artgerm. And we have the foil virgin full art variant of the same book. Very cool, very cool. And if you pre-order these, they are maybe twice as expensive. And if you don't pre-order these, they might grow in price, like something like that. Maybe not as expensive as this, but end up in $20 or so. So something like those foil full art stuff, they grow in price. So if you want to collect those, keep an eye on the pre-order lists. All right, we have now crossed into the Artgerm. So buckle up. And I really dug deep into my back order list, and then there are some other pricey stuff in here. Tales of the Titans, a new release, pre-order. And there's also a foil cover here that I didn't manage to grab, but will be in the next month because I picked one up cheap in an auction. So next month, spoiler. It's 2 piles. We have Conan the Barbarian, not something I will usually read, but it is an Artgerm cover. Cover C, Artgerm. He does branch out. I guess he will do covers for whoever is willing to pay his price. And we're going, that were the new releases as far as I am aware. And then we go back to some classics. He did a 4-piece for Fantastic Four #1, Sue Storm. And she has a full art variant, which I got really, really cheaply. I think this was an error on the auctioneer. Full art variant Sue Storm to go with the normal. Very nice. And we have Mr. Fantastic, also #1. Ben Grimm, #1. And Human Torch, #1, all by Artgerm. Very cool, the full set. They are not that expensive if you want to pick, if you are a Fantastic Four fan and an Artgerm fan. Then we have Mighty Thor, the female 705 variant by Artgerm. And if you remember back to the first Artgerm book, Volume 1, Marvel poster portfolio, these were in them. So we are finally catching up to that as well. The same with this Symbiote Spider-Man, Gwen Stacy was in that as well. So I have these on my wall so they can. And we got Mera. This was just shown in Volume 2. So we are catching up to the art books. We got Spider-Woman. I think I showed off the black version of this. Very cool. We have a thick book. DC Festival of Heroes, the Asian Superhero Celebration, sorry, I can't read. Which makes sense because Artgerm Art House Collective are all Hong Kong based, I believe. So that makes sense to make a collaboration with for Asian superheroes. Very cool. We got Heroes Reborn, Wonder Woman, Artgerm. We got a very cool Mary Jane cover. I like the little spine on the shoulder. We got some of the, I talked about this in the art book. He did a 20-book run on Supergirl covers. And I bid in on some of them. I had a chance to bid in on a lot of them, but I did run. I have limited funds. It doesn't always look like that, but I do have limited funds. And I really like this Oracle and Supergirl. I believe it is Oracle. Barbara Gordon, sorry. And I really like this as well. Supergirl looking over her shoulder. and something slightly different, Phoenix Resurrection #1 from Artgerm. I should just stop saying Artgerm. They are rest of them will be Artgerm. And the same with Supergirl. He did a run on Catwoman, 20 book-ish run on Catwoman. Catwoman #1. Some dust on these. Catwoman #2. Very cool. Like the fierce look on this. Catwoman #4. And since I already have picked some up, I might be filling in gaps from now on. Not every auction has every book. Catwoman #9. Catwoman #11, looking very, very angry. Very cool. Catwoman #15. I talked about, I really like this cover in the art book because it is the Michelle Pfeiffer inspired one. And I also talked about this one in the art book, that I was on the hunt, and I had forgotten that I already had won it. That is my brain saying you are getting old. And I have also double bid on auctions because my brain can't remember it. So now I have my comic book list open when I'm bidding on stuff. Birds of Prey #11, Artgerm, just because it is cute. Huntress and don't know who Huntress is kissing here, actually. And this was also in the art book. Wonder Woman flying. Wonder Girl #6. Very nice. Batman 108. Looks very cyberpunky. Very cool. And to finish off, we have Amazing Spider-Man #25 in 2 variants. And I got these pretty cheap, and it turns out they're very expensive. Well, pretty expensive, $25 each. Very cool. Some key pieces in Spider-Man are very expensive, and the same with Venom. Spider-Man is very, very popular. Not a surprise there. Of course he is. He is the most. I do believe he's the most popular superhero. Maybe Batman and Wolverine is up there as well, but Spider-Man is definitely up there. So these two. So a mighty haul once again. And next month might be a bit smaller. Depends if I get the package that is lost in the English channel. Who knows? I hope this was interesting to somebody. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.